Welcome to Fund This Time podcast. How you doing? Hi, Tom. Could you introduce yourselves to our listeners and tell us everything that you do?
Everything I do. Okay, how many hours we got here?
Definitely.
I'm Tom Antion, and I've never had a job. So frequently I'm asked to be on Entrepreneur podcasts. I've had my own business for over 44 years, and that doesn't count when I was 10 years old doing side hustles. And I have my own podcast based on the fact I've never had a job called Screw the Commute. Because if you look at my resume, Niurka, it kind of looks like BS, because how could somebody do all these things that I've done? But if you're not in traffic making somebody rich every day, a couple hours a day, you have time to live 2 or 3 lives. So I've been selling my own stuff, doing my own thing, speaking around the world. I have the only licensed dedicated internet marketing school in the country. Probably the world. And it's I've got a mentor program. I've got a retreat center and my own TV studio where people actually live in the house for an immersion weekend. So I do a lot of stuff. In the meantime, I became a charter pilot just for fun and freelance, and I have a protection dog company. So I had a practical joke company where we custom designed practical jokes. Like Candid Camera. I had a nightclub where I was in gunfights and knife fights, and so, bikers trying to kill me. So entrepreneur, that's me. That's me.
I love that. It sounds like so fun, and yeah, that's completely entrepreneurial. It's like you're always doing something new, and you just keep moving and adding to the pile.
What's that word that you have? Multipotential. What is it?
Multipotential. Yes.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's me.
Yeah, that's so fun, and I love the name of your podcast. Can you tell us again?
Screw the Commute, and it's got a little our little logo, our little mascot is a screw, but he's a little person. A screwy is his name. And he's pounding on cars in the traffic. He's yeah. So I'll do anything to get out of actually going to work for a living.
Well, all that stuff, they can be considered work, but when you're having fun, it really is not, right?
Yeah, I mean, people ask me, when are you going to retire? I could have quit doing this years ago from all of the money I made, but I'm like, what am I going to do? I just love this. I love helping entrepreneurs, so besides selling my own stuff, I've helped, thousands of entrepreneurs. In fact, I'm really humbled in the fact that Hollywood documentary is coming out this fall about my life called The American Entrepreneur. A documentary lady came up to me years ago and said, hey, I'd like to do a documentary about you because of your story and your father coming from Syria with nothing and becoming an entrepreneur, and you became an entrepreneur and helped thousands of entrepreneurs. And I said to her, I said, I thought you had to be dead to have a documentary about you. No. She said, no, you don't have to be dead.
No. Oh, that sounds so amazing. And thank you for giving back, because not a lot of people do. And that is the core of, growing together, helping other grow, and it help you grow as well, right?
Yeah.
As an entrepreneur.
It's a big,
you build a community. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a big part of my life, the excitement of seeing other people successful. And then another thing that I do that's because I'm strong, because I've been in gunfights and knife fights and tough, I started a site called Brutal Self-Defense. So it helps people stay safe in a dangerous world. But I also have a Hollywood TV show in development called Scam Brigade, where we go after people that rob people, older people. I think 120,000 people lost their homes, older people, from scammers. from financial scams and things. So we have a TV show in development called Scam Brigade. And, I got all kinds of stuff to help your entrepreneurs with today on ways to make money online so they can take this job and shove it kind of thing.
Well, that sounds amazing. And yes, there's a lot of scammers on business and that go after people that can defend themselves.
Right.
I definitely got a couple tips I can give you about those.
Yeah, well, yeah, us people that have been around a while have seen a lot of bad stuff. And, I've always been one to stick up for the underdog. I can't stand that somebody that's vulnerable would get taken advantage of by people just for money. That's just terrible.
Yeah, it's ugly. Definitely.
It's very ugly. It's very ugly. And when they run into me, it gets even uglier. Put it that way, because I don't put up with that stuff. you take advantage of an old person, it's going to be a bad day for you. Put it that way. And they're doing crazy stuff like they get an older person on the phone and they somehow get their address, but then they use Google Earth to say you're the place with the red front door, aren't you? Well, we're going to knock it in unless you send us money. They're scaring these old people because they're using Google Earth to see their actual home, and just in very terrible stuff. So those people I don't get along.
Yeah, I won't get along with them either. So I'm looking forward to see your show when it comes back.
Yeah, you can see the trailer at scambrigade.com.
So what made you start, I know you didn't have a job, but what made you decide to become an entrepreneur instead of just going the traditional route?
Well, I saw it from the time I was a little kid. So my dad came from Syria on a cattle boat when he was 3 years old. At 10 years old, he was head of household in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. By the time he was 13, he had his own electrical contracting firm. He put the first electric light bulb in Carnegie, Pennsylvania, and was taking care of his family. And he ended up taking care of other families too. I didn't find that out till his funeral when he was 94 years old. I thought nobody's going to be there. Who's going to be around after he's been around 94 years? The place was packed with people telling me how they had helped him when in the Depression, when nobody had work, and he's the one that lifted him up and helped them. And so that was all I saw as a kid. And so I became very entrepreneurial. I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years old, I was doing entrepreneurial stuff. And it was just, I was unemployable by the time I was 15. It's like I see all these idiots in business trying to tell you to do stuff, and they don't even know what they're talking about, and they're too slow for me. Also, that's another thing. Entrepreneurs, they got to get things done. It's not like a big company where you can have a bunch of worthless people getting $100,000 a year to do nothing. It doesn't work that way for a small business entrepreneur. You have to do everything. In fact, I don't know, for 20 years of those 44 years, I was employee of the month for every month.
I love that.
My picture was on the wall 12 times every year.
That's awesome.
I did apply for one job, Niurka, one time, because it said it had a 401k. And I thought, that's a great starting salary, $401,000. Apparently wasn't the case.
Well, what's that job?
I don't know. I was just, it was a long time ago. But one of the things I love to teach people, what we do is what we call a lifestyle business. You're doing the same thing.
Yes.
You live your lifestyle. Look, you're just sitting in the beautiful palm trees behind you. I hope a coconut doesn't hit you on the head in the middle of this interview.
No.
But it's a lifestyle business. And so one of the things I've been teaching for years is called how to make your hobbies tax deductible. Because we're in the United States. You came from Cuba, which was very, suppressed. But now we can just do anything we want, basically, that's legal in the United States as a business. And there's no law that says you have to not enjoy your business. You can enjoy what you're doing. So I teach people to make their hobbies tax deductible. Now, I have the dubious distinction, Niurka, of being the largest person ever to create and star in a tennis training video. It's called Fatso Tennis. So it's for overweight and out of shape people who love tennis. And so I made a tennis training video because everything's expensive. The ball machine was $2,000. The rackets are $200. And I think, I don't want to just pay for all this stuff. I want to get a tax deduction. So I put up a WordPress website with a $15 theme, which make it look nice. And then I made a DVD of me doing all these crazy things with tennis that large people would do. And some of them are funny, some of them are real. In fact, I can take a young person and run them to death before I drop dead from being tired. And there's all these gadgets for tennis. So I sell the DVD, and that makes my other stuff legitimately tax deductible. Now, I'm not an accountant or a tax attorney, but I've had hundreds of them in my audiences, and they said, absolutely, that's, you bring in money from a product, so the stuff that it takes you to make the product is tax deductible. So people have all kinds of family interest, camping and soccer. Taking your kids to soccer costs a fortune, all the clothes and the stuff and travel and everything. So a soccer mom or dad could just interview a bunch of high school soccer coaches and say, okay, what's the best thing to make kids great at soccer? And just write them all down, put them in an ebook. And it costs nothing to make ebooks, either a PDF file or an Amazon Kindle. And now you have a product that people will pay for that makes, and then your kids are the models, and the stuff you have to pay and the travel, all that is tax deductible. See? So golf, camping, archery, whatever it is, if it's a family interest or hobby, it can be made tax deductible with a simple just putting a website up, and you don't even have to make your own product. You can use another product that's related to your topic as an affiliate, it's called. So that means you recommend somebody else's product and you get a commission. And that's money coming in because of your business that makes it your stuff tax deductible. So it's if you've watched the trailer at fatsotennis.com of the video, I'm playing tennis and eating pizza at the same time.
Yeah, I like that. And you think people are just leaving money on the table.
Yes,
right?
They're just throwing it in the toilet. It's like playing basketball in the office with the garbage can. You're just taking your money and pitching it in the toilet, giving it to the government to buy bombs. So I'd rather have my stuff tax deductible than buy bombs.
Yeah, everything is money, and sometimes money don't have to be green. If you get it back, it's still money.
Yes, exactly. You get credit. It's still money, but the thing is, you're doing what you love.
Exactly.
And getting money back for it. How can you beat that?
It's a bonus.
Yeah, it's a bonus.
I'm thinking about all my hobbies. I got a lot.
Well, there you go. Yeah, you just put up you can put up a world-class website today for $150 if you know what you're doing. Mike, it's a WordPress site with a theme, a responsive theme it's called. In the old days, you could get away with $10, $15 free themes, but now the themes have to look good on cell phones and tablets and desktops. So that's called responsive. And so that's about $100. You can get a good responsive theme. And with a little bit of hosting, you're going to have $150 into something that can make all your stuff tax deductible that's related to that topic. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Got to know what you're doing. That's all. And just take a little time. That doesn't mean go to a web designer and have them charge you $5,000 for the thing that you should have made for 150. You know, so you have to get some knowledge. But I mean, like I said, it's really worth it if you and your family can enjoy all this stuff and not feel guilty about it. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanking for experience. Like I remember when I started my first business, I got a Shopify website, and I just got familiar with it, and I built the whole thing by myself.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and there's loads of people that'll help you. I've done lots of stuff with YouTube videos. Like my school building, when I had the big building, I wired the whole thing with internet just by watching YouTube videos on how to do it. so I came from blue collar, so I like work with my hands. Like I said, my dad, came with nothing and taught us kids how to work with tools and do stuff. But too many people now, they just want, I heard one guy say the only thing he learned in shop class in high school was how to call for estimates. In other words, he didn't learn how to do anything. And so many people now can't do anything. But if you can learn a little bit, you can have enormous good life with very little money, because any service that you purchase is going to be sometimes literally 100 times what it should cost if you just knew how to do it. A perfect example is people can't even change a leaky faucet washer, and they go to Home Depot and they spend $50 on stuff, and they still come home and it's still leaking. Then they got to call the plumber for $100 to come for a 2-cent washer. So it's in the electronic world, it's the same thing. You could learn how to do this stuff. It's not that hard, and you get a tutor or mentor. That's what I do, and then you can have enormous success with very little money out.
And can you tell us a little bit more about the program that you have, the internet marketing?
Yes. So we have a couple things. It started out as what I call a mentor program. And that's where people have one-on-one access to me and all the people that work for me. We'll take over your screen. We show you where to click and everything. And then it's got a lot of unique features, one of which is I have this big mansion in Virginia Beach. People come in and stay for immersion weekends. Now, this is before the pandemic. I mean, I've been doing it 20 years. So just the past year, we haven't had anybody in. But then we have our own TV studio next door where we shoot marketing videos for them. And they have one-on-one consultation with me and everybody that works here. Well, a lot of people at my level won't even talk to you at all, let alone one-on-one by appointment, So it's very great program. And the other thing about it is that guys at my level were charging $50,000 or $100,000 up front to teach small business people this stuff. And I knew a lot of these people. They'd be hiding out in Mexico if if you gave them $50,000, they wouldn't even help you. So I said, that's not fair to small business people. What I'm going to do is charge just an entry fee, and then I'm going to tie my success to their success. So for me to get my $50,000, they have to net $200,000. And boy, did they love this. And then they're not stuck with me forever. That's it. I'm capped at $50,000. Once I get that money, you don't owe me anything else. You've made a fortune and you know what you're doing now and can take off on your own. So people love that. And 1,700 students later, the program is still going strong every year. I wrote a book one time called The One Sentence Business Plan. One sentence for your business plan. And here it is. I create quality products that people actually want at a reasonable price, and I service them after the sale. If every company on earth would just do that simple thing, create reasonable prices, quality products, take care of the customers, you wouldn't have to spend $1 million on somebody to write a mission statement that nobody in the company knows about except the consultant that got $1 million for writing. So.
That's so true. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. And we have some comments right now.
Oh, do we? I didn't have that. Let's see what we got here. Oh, hey, there's Daniel. How you doing? Yeah, live in Mexico. They'd hide in Mexico, Daniel. They wouldn't live there until you forgot about them, and then they'd come back. So if you have any questions, Daniel, on internet marketing, entrepreneurship, professional speaking, just throw them in there. Thanks for stopping by. We didn't know if we were going to do this live or just record it, but I'm always happy to answer any questions. Now, there's another topic, Niurka, that I'd like to get into because I call it like an insurance policy for people. See, most people in the world that aren't entrepreneurs, and even some that are, most that are entrepreneurs, have a certain work model, and it's work, get paid, work, get paid, work, get paid. Even entrepreneurs, a lot of them have to work and then get paid, work, get paid, work, get paid. Well, I've got a different model. My model is work, get paid, 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 paid forever. Okay. This is called residual income. And it's very easy to create online, especially with digital products. See, this digital age is great. Now, I'm back to the point where I was selling cassette tapes, which a lot of people listening to this never even saw one probably. And then it went to CDs and DVDs. But now everything we sell is digital. So there's no shipping, there's no packaging, there's no, there's no postage or, UPS or FedEx charges, nothing. So it's about 97% profit. The only thing you have is a percentage of your credit card fees. Yeah. And so those are digital products that's what we sell mostly now. And it's just wonderful because you can do it from anywhere in the world. You've heard of coffee shop millionaires, people just take their laptop. I got a couple friends of mine. They live 3 months in every country. I guess you can get a 3-month visa to live in countries. So they live there for 3 months. They work half a day and then they play the rest of the day in these different countries. They sold their house, or no, they rented their house out. So they're making money on their house over their mortgage. They got rid of their car, insurance, all that stuff, and they're making way more and travel in the world than if they were staying home. So it's a beautiful kind of business to be in.
Yeah, it sounds like my kind of business.
Well, you're kind of living it. You were just in Peru shooting video. Do you have a crew, or do you just shoot everything yourself, or what?
I'm building my crew right now. It's just me and me.
Me and me, yeah, right. You're employee of the month, right?
Right. But I do get some help for editing and all the other stuff. But for shooting, I do it myself right now.
Oh, okay. Well, that keeps the cost down. And yeah, we do a lot with video because video's hot. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff you can do nowadays. I mean, I just grabbed my cell phone because I wanted to turn the ringer off. But I mean, they're shooting TV shows with the cameras on these videos and tablets nowadays. So right in your hand, you have a production studio. Daniel says, it sounds often. Daniel says, great TV host on is it Legrity or Legrity Media?
Legrity Media.
Legrity, that's where your show is, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you have that, so you can shoot video for YouTube, video products. You can do audio products. You can literally take the audio track off of the video and have another product, and you can transcribe that and have a digital written product. So with just shooting a video, you can have 3 products out of it, all digital. And the reason you want to have multiple formats is because people have different learning styles. Some people, if you shot only video and tried to sell it to a realtor, you're in the real estate field and somewhat too. Well, they're in the car all day. They can't stop and watch the video, but they would listen to an audio. See what I mean? So you're shooting yourself in the foot if you don't make several different versions of things. Now back to the residual work, get paid. So I wrote an ebook in a 4-hour layover at McCarran Airport in Las Vegas. And as of this morning, it's brought in $3.66 million. And anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 a month. If I just said, "I'll see you, Niurka, I don't feel like talking anymore," if I'd have quit years ago, it keeps bringing in money. And you say, "How could that be? That sounds like BS." Well, the mechanism for doing this is you write a book about something that some people can do something, and you teach them how to do it. But they can't do it unless they buy the tool or lease the tool that's necessary. So I make $600 a year on the tool necessary to do what I'm teaching them in the book. And some people have had the tool for 15 years. See? Wow. So that's called a residual affiliate program. Now, a basic affiliate that I mentioned earlier is you recommend something once and you get paid once. Residual is you recommend it once and you keep getting paid as long as the people keep it. And there's other things. There's like membership sites, and there's supplements, and there's hosting and things that you recommend somebody and they keep paying you as long as that person stays in. And I call that like an insurance policy, because I did get sick. I got in a hunting accident a couple years ago, and it would have been such a great story had I gotten shot. But no, I fell on a log. I perforated my intestines. So it wasn't great, but I was in intensive care for a week, and I couldn't lift more than 5 pounds for 6 months. Money kept coming in the whole time from that one program and all the other ones that I have going, and the other websites that are out there bringing in money all the time, even if I'm not here or able to work on them. I know. Well, I went when my mother started going south on me. I had to go for 3 months to our little hometown and move her out of our family home, which she lived for 50 years. Life gets in the way, and so you got to take care of your parents. And so that took me about 3 months. I'm away from my business. I had more money when I came back than when I left, because of these things keep going. And I'm some cases it was way more money. I'm like holding myself back when I'm here, maybe. I don't know. But when life gets in the way, and I had friends tell me that if they'd have taken off 3 months, they'd have lost their home, because they'd had no money coming in. And I know in 9/11, which is coming up here, or maybe I don't know when this is going to play, but I had big name speakers that you've heard their name went bankrupt because all they could do is, speak. And then all the meetings dried up and they were broke, So having these things that work for you all the time, Daniel, can really be an insurance policy for your family and create a wonderful lifestyle business.
Yeah, having multiple sources of income is definitely a good idea. You have to build your own cushion to, take a break when you need to or when you have to.
Or
That's
you
amazing.
just want to, or you have to, or you want to, or you're just tired of it, and but money's still coming in.
Yeah, there's some people that they retire multiple times because they.
Yeah, they got nothing to do when they quit, so they got to go back and do something new. And I'm the same way. That's why I don't even bother with it, because I just have so many interests that I can turn into money, like the dogs. I have a protection dog company called Protection Dogs Elite. and I got a $50,000 dog for doing a speech on the topics that I love anyway. They traded me for the speech. And then I thought, well, $50,000 dog, you can't give him regular dog food. You know, he's an elite dog. You know, you got to give him good dog food. That's expensive. So I said, I'm going to turn this into a business. So I started Protection Dogs Elite. I take the orders for the dogs. I take money off the top, and then I pass them on to professional trainers to do the training and deliver the dog. You know, so that kind of stuff. And I got the tennis stuff, the tennis DVD. Then that's, it's easier than the dogs because you just mail it out. And just anything I feel like you can turn into a business without risk. So you're just putting up $150 website. Most people is not going to break the bank. Okay? But if you don't know what you're doing, then you spend $5, $10, $15, $20,000. That's too risky. Yeah, don't do it.
That's amazing. So that's like everything that you see. Okay, I want to do this. How can I optimize it to make it give me back instead of you spending money?
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah. And like I said, you don't have to create a product, but you have to have some way to bring money in. Because if you don't bring in any money, the IRS will characterize it as a hobby. So you do have to bring money in, but a lot of businesses never make money for years and nobody says anything as long as they're legitimately trying.
Yeah, you got like 5 years.
Yeah, they don't make a profit, for most businesses, but it's hard not to make a profit in this business when you're 97% profit with gross profit. I mean, most businesses have very thin margins. Restaurants and everything are barely, even computer sales, all that's very tiny profit margins, where this is, you have to really try to mess up to not make money.
I like that.
What's Daniel say? The cushion lets you enjoy Niurka, Castaneda, and Tom's time. All right, great.
Yeah, that's awesome. I was thinking about all the hobbies I have. I definitely have to do something.
Yeah.
I've been trying. I've been working through the list.
Well, all this travel that you do, and you're making this show and everything, you'll eventually get sponsors and things for the show, and that'll be incoming money. And then all the travel and the equipment and the hiring help and editing, all that's tax deductible.
I know. Yeah, and there's so many different ways, right? Like I'm going to be doing a movie and there's grants for that. There's ways to bootstrap and save money and then optimize it even more.
I just wrote a book on crowdfunding. I'm doing this program with my school to help persons with disabilities. We also have a military side to that because we're in the My CAA program. It's called for military spouses to give them scholarship money from the Department of Defense. And then I just decided to throw one to help persons with disabilities because my school was perfect for it. They can learn a highly in-demand skill from home, and they can legitimately be hired from home or start their own business. So we've raised, I think, about $18,000 so far in the first couple months, and I'm starting to get publicity for it. And so we're shooting for about $76,000 to run the program and to hire people with disabilities to help out with the program. And I'm learning a lot about accessibility on your website because 2 of the people are blind. So I was thinking it's just people that are, can't move very well, but now 2 people are blind. So I'm learning and improving that to make it accessible for everybody. But you can do such great things. You can do charitable things. And it's just beautiful. Entrepreneurship just is a special thing in the world that allows you to do great things for yourself, your family, and for others.
Well, that's the heart of entrepreneur, right? It's about creating new things. And when you get a good heart and you create for good, you can do so much. You can have a bigger impact.
Yeah, I mean, I've saved hundreds of dogs, in animal rescue. I fed 500 homeless children for a year just by auctioning myself off. and it wasn't as a gigolo, I can tell you that, because I wouldn't have got 5 cents. but yeah, but now this thing I'm really proud of, helping these people with disabilities get jobs. But you could just do such great things, you know, with for everybody, and do good in the world instead of bad.
And that's amazing. And yeah, disability people, they actually need all the help they can get, because there's so many different disabilities, right? There's mental, there's physical, you know, blind. So everyone one is different, and you have to adapt to them.
Yes, absolutely, and I'm learning how to do that with my school. The disabilities, now I really had a learning curve here, because I wasn't expecting blind people to apply to an internet marketing school. I was expecting people that are on crutches or don't have any legs, or, you know, or have, you know, these things that help them use a mouse if they have, their hands are no good. That's what I'm thinking. That proves how you know, you can't always depend on what's in your head. You know, you got to put it in the marketplace and see what happens. First two people are blind. And I'm like, oh my God, now what am I supposed, how are you supposed to do Instagram if you're blind? You know, and the thing is, these people are doing it. How they're just inspiring me and making me learn all kinds of stuff to improve the world. But let's see, Daniel says, do you have a list of resources you offer to the entrepreneur and veteran community? Yeah, we give, I don't know if she has my website up here anywhere, but it's imtcva.org, Internet Marketing Training Center of Virginia.org, imtcva.org/military. So we give a 50% scholarship to all military, first responders, law enforcement, and nurses, and their immediate families. And then we guarantee that whatever balance money that's involved, no military family will ever pay more than $97 a month on their balance. So it's affordable for everybody, and it's a portable skill, because I live in Norfolk, Virginia, one of the, or Virginia Beach, but it's all one big military area. I think it's the largest collection of military in the world. And the military spouses, which we have the military spouse program, you know, they have to take a crappy job because everybody knows that they're going to leave in 2 years. And so then they have to go somewhere else, dump this crappy job and get another crappy job at the next place. So when they get this skill of internet marketing, they can have their own clients, they can be virtual assistants, and nobody cares where they are. They could be in Italy, or Italy's got a little craziness about even internet work, but most places don't care or even know that you're working and getting paid remotely. So it's perfect for military families, which is another big area. Before I got into the disability field, I've been really, that's how I kind of met Niurka, through Stephen Kuhn, the Vetpreneur Tribe. I did a lot of free training for them. Anything I can do to help veterans, because they're keeping us safe, and kept me from having to go to the Naval Academy, where I had a where I had an appointment, and I saw people jogging to class. I said, I'm not sure I'm cut out for this, you know. So yeah. So and then September is Vetpreneur Month on my podcast, Screw the Commute, where we highlight veterans, and Niurka was just recorded to be on there. So yeah, anything I can do. Now, my dad joined the military at 16. He lied about his age. He joined the cavalry. See, my dad died at 94, 20 years ago. Okay, so he was in the cavalry. I got a picture of him with a Colt 1911. It was a Colt 1911. It wasn't, you know, all the ones they have today, which are all reproductions, but this was the real one. And he had a horse.
Wow.
in the Army, yeah, in El Paso, Texas, yeah. So yeah, so I'm all for military, although I kind of flunked out ROTC and didn't go to the Naval Academy.
You didn't go all the way through.
No. Did you just mute yourself?
Yeah, there was a little noise in the background.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that sounds amazing. And
It's
so
a
much
great life. I mean, and sometimes Niurka, many times people come to me, don't have much money, they need to make money fast, and it surprises a lot of people where I put them when they need to make money fast, because I'm supposed to be Mr. Internet Guru, Guess where I put them? eBay. Because I grew up very frugal. So I buy off of these Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp and eBay. First place I go for anything, because I grew up frugal. My dad, like I said, came from a cattle boat with no shoes, no nothing, 3 years old. And so I grew up, he would buy used lumber and make us kids take the nails out, straighten them out to reuse the nails. Okay. So that's what I grew up with. And I can't brush my teeth without and let the water run, because I hear my dad, don't waste water, don't waste things, because he had nothing as a kid, So I grew up very frugal. So one time I bought a tool off of eBay, and and the guy happened to be local. So I go to pick it up. I drive up to his house, and he's got this beautiful motorhome out front. The house is beautiful. And he comes to the door dressed nicely, invites me in to go down to his basement to his shop where he's going to sell me this tool. So we go down the hall, down the steps. We're heading down to his shop. And everything, Niurka, to this point is normal. Okay. I look over to his basement ceiling, and there are hundreds of ladies' bras hanging from the ceiling in his basement. So I'm thinking, this guy sucks you in off of eBay and then kills you and hangs your underwear up. I'm thinking all these crazy things. So I'm watching him like a hawk. And I buy the tool. Everything's normal. We're talking about our dads and everything. So I buy the tool, and we're heading out. And of course, I walk behind him. I don't want to hit me with a hatchet in the back of my head. And I finally said, hey, buddy, what's all these bras hanging here? And he says, oh man, my daughter goes to all the thrift stores. She knows all the sizes. She gets them, cleans them up, fixes them up, sells them on eBay.
Wow.
I said, oh, no kidding. I said, does she make good money? He said, oh, $200,000 last year on eBay selling used bras. Okay.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, and my marketing mind is going crazy now. It's like, oh man, if I would hang around the thrift store bra department, they'd call the police on me or something. But there's money everywhere. And there's another friend of mine. The guy that taught me was an ex-Marine, and he was selling used cell phones and doll heads. He would make doll heads, 10 cents of rubber each in a mold to make these doll heads, and sell them for $10 a piece on eBay for people that make dolls. And he was doing doll, DOLLS.
Okay.
Baby dolls and stuff, and they make them. And he was doing $20,000 a month. He brought all his sales over, because I was going to hire him to teach me how to do eBay. And he brought this stack of sales over this thick for all this stuff, just on that stuff. And then here's a tip for everybody. This friend of mine would take 80 to $100 every Saturday to yard sales. Now, there's a certain thing. If you go to eBay and the search box, if you're searching for something, right to the side, there's a little link that says advanced search. If you click on it and then click this box that says completed listings only, it'll tell you all the listings for the last 90 days for whatever product you're looking for and how much it sold for, or if it did sell. Aha. So she would go to a yard sale, and let's say she saw one of these Tonka nice high quality metal toy trucks, dump truck, let's say, and it's selling for $5 at the yard sale. She'd go on her cell phone and say, oh, it's selling for 50 on eBay. So she would buy it, and then if it was selling for 50 at the yard sale and 5 on eBay, she wouldn't buy it. So she would take 80 to $100 every Saturday morning, go to yard sales and do that, and come home with a bunch of stuff. All week, she'd list it and sell it. She was clearing consistently for years $1,000 to $1,100 a week profit. One day, yard sale, the rest of the day, pictures and writing descriptions and putting stuff on eBay. So that's a place to go where there's no website involved. All you have to have is a PayPal account, and you can literally have money coming in a couple days and clean your basement out at the same time. We don't have basements here in Virginia Beach. The water tables, you probably don't have basements either, right?
No way.
No, yeah.
So really, there's no excuse, right?
No excuse.
There's no excuse. You really can make a business out of anything.
Yeah, there's a couple places. One is called Cafe Press, CAFEPRESS, and the other one's called Zazzle. These are sites that have millions of products, and you can make your own store for free and just upload your graphics. So you could have a hoodie shirt with your graphic on it, or your funny saying like a t-shirt, or they have tote bags. They have over 1 million different products, mugs and clocks and pillows. And you have no investment whatsoever. And if anybody buys anything, you get a 17% royalty off of it. And you don't have a website, nothing. They collect the money, just send you the check. You don't even have to have a merchant account or anything. So there's just loads of stuff like this that people can do to make money, and no matter what kind of economy is going on, and you're not limited by any local economy or even national economy. Even with the pandemic, people were buying stuff even more because they were stuck at home, buying stuff online.
And I'm thinking about, one of the biggest costs for any small business is marketing. Now you go to a Cafe Press or Zazzle and put all your stuff in there. You're going to be making money on your marketing.
All you put up is graphics. They have the products already. You can make a store and pick whatever products you want in your store. Now, Facebook user says, repeat the name. So Zazzle is Z if you're in Canada, Zazzle. And then the other one is Cafe Press, CAFEPRESS. Yeah, they collect the 83%, Daniel. But remember, you have no inventory. This is like print on demand for all this stuff. You have no expense, no website, no nothing. They do everything except you make the store. They teach you how to do it, but it's free. And just send people to the store and you can get 17%, and you get to set the prices. So you can set $30 for a t-shirt if it's, or whatever. When you go over there and see all the stuff they have onesies for babies and thongs and, I can't tell you all the stuff, iPad holders and, just everything. So that's Zazzle and Cafe Press.
I just got on my to-do list. And you also had an affiliate program for our listeners, right? That they can sign up for.
Oh, yeah. Daniel has another question. Yeah, it's all their inventory, Daniel. You have no inventory, no shipping, no nothing, no upfront investment, nothing, unless you unless you can't make the graphics yourself. But some of the graphics are so easy because you might think up of funny sayings for T-shirts, and then you just write it in plain text and put it up there as a graphic. And if somebody buys the T-shirt, then it's printed on demand. There's no inventory. It's all in their warehousing. They ship it, send you the money, send your share of the money. So yeah. So what was that? What would you say, Niurka?
You also have an affiliate program for our listeners, all right?
Yeah, for my stuff. Yeah, for my stuff, we pay anywhere from $8.50 for an ebook to more than $5,000 for some speaking engagements and anything in between. So you can make a lot of money just referring my products and services. And you can just email me at tom@screwthecommute.com if you are interested in that. And Daniel says, I had products already on another store. Yeah, if you have your own products, that's great. But this is a whole different thing where you don't have to have any products. But when you go over there, you'll see there's just more things than you can imagine that you could make a store from and with no investment.
Yeah, and
I was going to say, I see you're scrolling across the bottom of the screen some of the websites, greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, imtcva.org. That's my school /military if you're interested in the military stuff.
Yes. And, you can, when you put it on this website, they're not only paying you make a sale, they're actually making the marketing for you because they're going to advertise it to their customers.
Well, people can find it on the site. You'll make more money if you drive people to it. And if you drive somebody to their site and they buy somebody else's stuff, you get 10% of that. So if they, there's thousands and thousands of vendors on there that sell all kinds of different things. So if somebody that looks at your stuff and buys some of it and buys some other people's stuff, that's another 10% you get out of that too.
That's awesome. So do you have any, you already mentioned so many tools and resources.
I didn't get warmed up yet, Niurka. You're the one in Miami. I'm sitting up here in Virginia Beach.
I don't know, any book or what else do you tell our listeners that they should be doing right now?
Well, you really should. If when I tell people write a book. So many people that it's just so out there to them. They say, I could never write a book. Yes, you can. I got a guy I know that's semi-literate that's got 14 bestsellers. He just talks his ideas and hires somebody to write it up, an English student to write them up for him. So the beauty about writing a book is that people will ask you to do speaking engagements where you can make thousands of dollars per speech. People will, it's 97% profit. If you sell it yourself as a PDF file, that's great. But you can also put it on Amazon Kindle. And then Amazon has millions of people coming every day to their site. So they technically do the marketing for you. And so you get money, a check from Amazon every month. So there's all kinds of these ways. It's just your job is to learn about them. That's why I have schools and a mentor program, and I teach people about this stuff, and it really changes their life because, first of all, jobs aren't secure anymore. People say, oh, it's too risky to start a business. Oh, well, some big company just bought your company out and they just fired you. How risky? How do you like that? So, and if you are working, I don't say quit and be ridiculous about it. Use the money coming in from your job to build some of these other things. What I tell people, Niurka, is I want to make it too expensive for you to go to work anymore. Because you can, once you build up, you can make more doing what you're doing on the side than wasting your time making those other people rich. And that's when you quit. I'm not saying be ridiculous and just quit cold turkey if you're working somewhere now. I'm saying use that time to build something where you're in control of, and some executive idiot can't write something on a pen and you're out of a job all of a sudden. That's not security. So yeah, you should be writing books. You should be learning about this online digital world. You should be looking at Cafe Press. You should be making your hobbies. I mean, the first thing is you make your hobbies tax deductible. Everybody has hobbies and family interests that they're just blowing extra money because they don't get the tax deduction for it. And they get a way bigger tax deduction at the end of the year. And you fill out, in the United States, you fill out one form called a Schedule C, and you're in business. You know, now you can get a corporation or LLC if you really want to push it, but you don't have to. You can just keep track of your expenses and your income from your business. Boom, it comes off your W-2 income. You know, at least in the U.S. I don't know all the places that people are listening to this, but most normal countries is the same deal. It might not be a Schedule C, but any business that you're in, you know, income and expense. That's what it, that's what it is. And your expense comes off of your other income. So start paying attention to that. This is an entrepreneurial podcast. You got to put your foot in the water sometime or the other, because if you just keep going to work and coming home, you're just blowing a lot of time away from your family and stress and dealing with idiots all the time. And if you're afraid to do it, here's what I tell people to do. Get yourself a water cooler and put it in your house and go stand and pretend to gossip with people, because that's all they do in the corporations anyway.
Yeah, and right now, how many millions of people we have unemployed, right?
Yeah, and there's 10 million job openings, and part of it's because they're giving all the extra money to people, but that's not going to last forever. You're going to have to go to work, get back in there. Daniel says about you can teach courses on mastermind.com and keep all the profits. There's just another thing. It's $49 a month to be listed there, but it's just one of many ways that you could do this, but all of them have a learning curve so that you maximize your money and you minimize your expenses. That's probably my claim to fame, is because I remember the dot-com bust when they were throwing millions of dollars at kids that were wet behind the ears, and all they were doing is buying pool tables, and they all went under. So you keep your costs low, your profit margin high, and like I said, you have to almost try to screw up to not make money online.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's something that we all should keep in mind. So this has been amazing. Where can they find you? Because I'm sure we can talk here for hours.
I know. Yeah, like I said, I didn't even get warmed up yet. So you can email me at tom@screwthecommute.com. I guess Niurka got tired of me, just left. Her screen went black. I hope we're still recording. Yeah, tom@screwthecommute.com. You can check out greatinternetmarketingtraining.com if you're really serious and you want to go into one of the longest running ever, most successful mentor program in the field of internet and digital marketing. It's going across the screen right now, greatinternetmarketingtraining.com. Yeah, okay. We are here, but she's not. I guess I'm in charge of the show now.
Yeah, to my screen.
Oh, there you go. You're back. You just left me here. Deserted me. I'm used to that with women, I guess. Yeah. So
some technical difficulties.
So there's plenty. I'm easy to get a hold of. I'm very accessible. People at my level, nobody will even talk to you. I love to talk to people and help them, and I just get so thrilled when they're successful. So anything I can do to be part of it, I'm all in.
Well, I appreciate it, and you're welcome back anytime.
Well, thank you so much. And if you anybody listening, is got a few bucks throw into that GoFundMe campaign, and it's something you can really be proud of to help these people change their life. And the way I got into it is because their suicide rates are 4 times normal, the depression is 4 times normal, the unemployment is higher than it's ever been. So we can do something about it. We're strong and we can do it. So any help you give me, I'd appreciate it.
Definitely. we're going to put all the links, so anybody that wants to support, they can go ahead and push the button. That's all they need to do.
Awesome.
Take the commitment. Well, thank you for being here once again. Any last words?
Yeah, folks, become an entrepreneur. This is take control of your life. Become an entrepreneur. There's people like Niurka and myself and others. Just make sure you got credible people. Really check them out thoroughly before you buy any training or anything like that. But once you get a taste of this, you won't want to sit in that traffic. You'll want to screw that commute.
I love that name. Okay, and with that, we are going to say bye.